missing my roots to work as hard as I do. Been on the money train looking for more better blues. Them school days, no class act, I was breaking all the rules. Life's a boomerang and I had nothing to lose. Another boy in the hood is how it come across. I feel like Dr. Doolittle, but the money talks. They yelling he got game, I'm not the wonder ball. This just some fresh soul food for every one of y'all. Yeah.
Yo, welcome back for another episode of Cornbread Movie Review. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Come on, man. I had to do a couple reviews. I had, I think it was just my birthday, so did a top 5 Miami review. So check out all my content, bro. I'll be trying to mix stuff up for y'all. I ain't just trying to stay stagnant and just do one thing. I got my hand in the cookie jar and a couple things. So first off, to the subscribers, thank y'all. If you haven't subscribed, you just watching, make sure you hit that subscription. Come on, bro. It's free. You get all my new content when it comes out. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do another review. All right. Today, that movie review is Killer on the Flower Moon. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's out now. It's rated R. It's in theaters. If this is the first time you've seen my review, first off, welcome. And then understand I do each movie review in 5 different categories. All right, acting, cinematography, storytelling. Did I get what I bought? And then is it a must-see? Adds it up, spits out a Cornbread movie review. And then, hey, we talk about a couple things on here. Also trying out this wireless mic, so let me know if y'all can hear me clearly, different things like that, all right? So first category is acting. Who is in this movie? You got Leonardo DiCaprio. Before I get into his acting, I want to thank him for always including nature and the history of how humans treat humans. So sidebar from his acting, he always is a great humanitarian of those things. So thank you for that, for always bringing those issues of, let's say, global warming or how we treat Earth and things like that to the forefront. So appreciate that. But his acting. So in this movie, he plays a nephew, right? This nephew, he's a war, a veteran. I don't know if he's a war hero, but he's a war veteran. And he got summons or located to this location to try to make a better life for himself. One thing I'm going to say is he had a mission and he halfway dropped the bag on this mission, bro. My man, he got told what to do with some other characters, which we'll get into that. But then he also fell in love too. So this is where the issue happens, where his action is not matching his remorse. So he's doing evil and mean and wrong and illegal stuff, but yet when he's confronted with it or talked about or having a dialogue, he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have did that or whatever. But then he's being directed to do it and he does it at the snap of a dime. So that was great contrast of how you get to see how he handles those with his acting. All right. Also in this movie, Robert De Niro. So he's the uncle of Leonardo DiCaprio's character, where he's established, bro. He's established with these Indians, and we'll get into the Indians and all that stuff in a little bit. He has a cattle farm, so he has money, bro. What? I don't understand, but apparently he doesn't have enough money, and he's evil. He slithers his way to making sure that his legacy lives on, right? And take that. He's the devil in disguise for sure in this movie. Robert De Niro, he really didn't, he did evil action. I would say his acting skills, he's done way more, but he wasn't the main focal character in here. So they didn't need him to be, let's say, the A side of this movie. But every scene that he was in, it was going to be all bad. All right. Also in this movie, Lily Gladstone. So she plays Osage Indian. And we'll get into the Osage Indians in a little bit. But she's one of those tribe members. So I'm first off going to say she's a fighter, bro. And this is almost, we'll get into it's based off a true story. So she's a fighter for real. She has to deal with a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of confusion of it feels like she's being under attack. She's at a war that she didn't know, but she knew I had to step up. I got to fight for what was ours and what is going to be ours. And being a mother and all these other things. So her character arc is top notch as well. So Those three characters and all the extras in this, great job, bro. Great job. This is how you step up and act as a collective. I'm not gonna say one person might win a Oscar for one character, but I think the totality of the actors did a great job. So for me, in this acting category, is going to get a 4.5, and that's the totality of everybody. Sometimes you can have a great cast, but then the main character messes up, or the main character does a great job, but everybody else can't support them. So this, you had great, those top three main characters plus the supporting cast. So 4.5 out of 5 from acting. All right. Next category is cinematography. So this movie is 3 hours and 20 minutes. Yes, 3 hours and 20 minutes. So use the bathroom, get your popcorn, order some extra food if you get a chance. Also, the budget is $200 million. That's like Avengers budget. That's Spider-Man budget. So I want you guys to know, understand what I'm saying. It's $200 million. What is being compared to? All right. The location is also in Oklahoma, where the Osage Indians reside. So back then, it was like the early 1900s. So back then, you get the clothes, the cars, the language. I was great to see that. No, a lot of this dialogue was Indian language, right? The native language, and then you have to read the subtitles. So way to pay homage to those, Native Americans. Even the scenery was phenomenal, and just understanding that the tribe is doing certain things. So it puts you back in that time frame of, hey, this is their culture. This is normal to them. And this movie was violent, bro. But it was still low CGI. I think when they use certain explosions, you're like, all right, yeah, it is what it is. But some of the death scenes was in the nitty gritty, bro. You felt it. There was no extra, let's fluff it up. No, when them people shoot or do whatever they do, you know it. You feel like you in there. So for me, cinematography is going to get a 4 out of 5. It was a couple flaws with what you're watching. Sometimes it was too dark. The lighting could have been better, but with not a lot of technology back in that time, you feel like, okay, that's great, but okay, it was just, all right, they did all those great things, but they didn't elevate the cinematography world, because I judge each category in the totality of movies that are out, right? So for me, cinematography is going to get a 4 out of 5 because I think it was above the standard of what they had. But having that big budget could have helped that out, right? Next category, ladies and gentlemen, storytelling. So first off, let's go into some history. The movie gives a quick little history lesson of the Osage Indians and how they came about. Why are they synonymous? Why are they famous? All those things, right? They struck gold. There happened to be gold in Oklahoma where they were. These Indians already own the land, so i.e. they have the money, okay? So you follow me? These are Indians with oil and money. What you think gonna happen? I'll wait. You guessed it, not good. Not good at all. One negative is this movie didn't tell us exactly when this was, and it is based off a true story, so you can give us at least some ballpark, but you have to read a lot of context clues. So for me, just watching the movie, taking notes from the newspaper to people talking a little bit of, or they just had to do certain things I had to piece together. So it's about the 1914, 1915, all the way to the 1950s. So this movie takes place from the beginning of that time frame all the way to the end of the 1950s. All right, so just be ready for that. This movie also puts you in the mind frame of it's different. This is when the Indians have the money. So what I mean by that is the white people are transplanting in, right? Taking buses, trains to get there, looking for work. They're the one that's begging. Though they're the ones who are maids. They're the ones who are doing the cabs or the service and all those things like that, right? So you understand, how did they get that power that they have nowadays? But at first they didn't. So it takes you back to that mind frame where the Indians were kings. But that also means that they were being hunted too, right? This movie is about slow genocide. Yes. So if you're not prepared for that, or you want to see some horrific things or just pure evil, this movie might be a little shaky for you. But if you want a great history lesson, it is for you. So like I said, it puts you back in the mind frame of how things were back in the early 1900s. Also, it's the Wild Wild West at that point. People get knocked off, dead, missing, raped, all that stuff, and there's no investigation. What's going on? Is because even the hospitals, right? But it's because the white people are slowly taking over. So it was a grand scheme of things. It wasn't just one set, like the KKK started to make it's rear its ugly head up. So if it was just the KKK and everybody else was on the same page, you'd be good. But you have the KKK, you have your doctors, you have Robert De Niro's character who infiltrated them. You have people using marriage now. You have, I don't want to tell the whole movie, but it's a slow genocide to get that wealth to the other side. I even love how the quick history lesson of insulin, right? That was just being introduced on, hey, we have this new drug or a way to help out people with diabetes. So I always love these little nuggets on history and when things were, and only the rich of the richest can get that. But the Osage Indians could get that because they were the wealthy ones. So this story also means that it's a setup where your job is to fall in love. If something happens to them, you inherit that, or you have kids and now your kids' bloodline gets to inherit that, right? So just like ain't nothing changed from today to back then. So no issues there. This story though, how much richness it has in the history and just having you glued to figure out what happened, it started to tail off, bro. Because everybody was invested till you start hitting the 2.5 mark. This movie is slow. There's enough violence or action to kind of spread it out, but over time it becomes repetitive. Like, all right, what are we doing? It's a lot of dialogue, but the dialogue's important, but it became too much at some point. It started to hurt the movie to me. So with that, with bad dialogue, or I'm sorry, with long dialogue, with a long movie, with not enough action to stay invested, and understanding that it's only one-sided, right? Like we didn't get to see the Indians go to war or anything like that. So I'm sure they didn't put everything in this movie, but it was like so one-sided. It's like, come on, man, help us with the other side. Like, where's the triumph in this and things like that. So for me, storytelling is going to get a 3.5 out of 5. Obviously, I don't want to tell all the secrets and all the cliffhangers or the spoilers and things like that. But for me, storytelling is going to get a 3.5 out of 5. All right. Next category. Did I get what I bought? So this movie is a drama. It's a crime movie. Standard ticket to about $10 to $15. So no issues there. The good thing is this movie was a book. So for those individuals who've seen the book and the movie, let me know what if they missed out on something, or there was like certain scenes in the book you're like, oh, they're gonna have that and they did it, or vice versa. Maybe there was something in the movie that was a great scene, but he's like, bro, they didn't have that in the book. What's going on? Like they're just adding the cinematography or up to interpretation. So let me know more about that. Flower Moon, Killers on the Flower Moon, that has a meaning, and they tell you that in the movie, which is good. So that's good, because I'm like, that's a weird title for a movie, but you get to understand why that is what it is. It is violent. One thing that I was disappointed in is, where are the males in the Osage Indians? Where are the males at? I understand most of them were getting hunted or killed, but they didn't kill all of them. So it's like, where's the people protecting these women? These women are just out here trying to survive and at war. But it's like, where are the men at? When are they gonna step up? When are they gonna go to war? And that's the part that, let's say that's true, it kind of hurt me. If it's not true and they really did step up, it was not portrayed in this movie. And that's one thing that they had to do better. I like always in the Native American times, the respect of nature. When you have somebody talking, they're like, shh, 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 be quiet. It's raining. It's thunderstorming. Let us do his thing. This is peaceful time. Let Mother Nature do its thing, and then we can get back to it, right? That's very humbling. So I like how they add those small little details in Mother Nature. Now, this movie is also a great and tragic piece, bro. American history, dog. Tough, 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 tough. But 3+ hour movies, you got to stay entertained, man. And I was prepared for it to be 3.5 hours, but it started the last 30 minutes. You're like, come on, bro, let's wrap this thing up. So for me, did I get what I bought? I'm going to say a 4 out of 5. I learned a lot. I was glued. I appreciate the experience and watching this tragic story and just the evilness. But it's like, come on, man, you missing a couple holes in this movie. So did I give it a bot? 4 out of 5. All right, last category, is it a must-see? Once again, it is a true story. It's also a conversation starter, right? Where we've been seeing that this genocides have happening around the world, and it's like, bro, but we've had one here. We've had it here, and we've seen it multiple times here. Also, this was interracial dating, where nobody wants a different type of race to infiltrate their race, right? So we always think, okay, they're white, they don't want black people coming in, but they don't want Asian people coming in either, or Native Americans, and vice versa. Native Americans didn't want white people coming in or black people and stuff like that. So it's a great conversation starter of that. Has that always been like that? Or when was the first time when everybody was, let's say, commingling, and that will happen just naturally? Men and women are going to be attracted to each other no matter what the race is, right? There's always outliers to that rule. So it's a great conversation starter. And Evil, I'm going to tell y'all this. Evil plays chess, not checkers, bro. Man, hey, keep your shoes by your feet. If y'all watch the podcast, I know exactly what I mean, man. But greed is shown prevalent in this. I feel bad for the Osage Indians because you knew as soon as they struck gold at the beginning of the movie, I said this is not going to end well for them, man, and it didn't. So for me, is it a must-see? I'm going to say a 4.5 out of 5. That leads me to all my categories. So today, ladies and gentlemen, Killers on the Flower Moon receives a 4 out of 5 from Cornbread Movie Review. Man, check out my 2023 movies. Like I said, we only got maybe another month. I might do some more movies with a couple hot topic movies that come out. Maybe 3 or 4 more. But we rolling through this thing. Let me know if y'all agree with my list so far. If I got maybe my lowest movie needs to be higher or my highest movie needs to be low. Let me know what y'all think about my list so far. But I am never going to leave y'all without a forgotten movie. And today, that forgotten movie is, if you get in trouble, bro, don't be hiring your family, bro. If they could be it could be Johnny Cochran. I don't know if you should hire Johnny Cochran if your last name Johnny Cochran. That's just me. I don't know, because they might try to look out for you, but they might not rock with you, and they might mess up your case. So today's movie, a forgotten movie, maybe you never heard of, you forgot about, or you need to double back on, and that movie today is My Cousin Vinny. Yes, My Cousin Vinny came out in 1992. It's a comedy trial drama. Joe Pesci, man, come on, man. He's always the gang member in this, but this one he's trying to fight for the law and save his I think it's his cousins. Yeah, obviously, My Cousin Vinny. So it's pretty funny. It's a comedy, but it's a classic too, man. So make sure you check out My Cousin Vinny if you haven't seen that in a long time. Also check out Killers on the Flower Moon. Check out my other content. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back next.